back in Chicago. I feel it. Another version of me.
We are at the airport, but I just took the biggest L because I brought the wrong passport and I do not have the new ID that's required to travel. So I'm gonna rebook my flight. It's 5 a.m., but I'm gonna book it to leave at 7 a.m. Oh my god, the TSA line is so long. Holy sh**. This is what, 5 a.m.? Okay, but I'm gonna book a flight on Sun Country instead. It is $150 on top of what I already paid for my United because they can't change the flight within 24 hours. So, yeah, that's so fun. We're going back home and I'm gonna go grab my passport, which I currently don't know where it's at right now. Okay, kind of crazy story time. So when we got to the airport, I actually booked a Sun Country flight. Originally my flight was on United, but then I had this thought if they're gonna cancel my inbound flight if I don't make my outbound flight. So I was Googling and a lot of people were like, oh yeah, don't do that. You're gonna be at risk of them canceling your inbound flight. I was like, fuck, because I just booked my Sun Country flight. I was planning to just take Sun Country in and then later on I'll just take my United flight back home. But obviously, if I don't make my United flight out of where I'm from, they're gonna cancel my flight back home because they're gonna be like, oh, this person didn't arrive to their flight, so they're probably not in the area. Being very impulsive and thinking I was so smart, booked that flight already, so it was $160. And then I was like, oh shit, I have to talk to somebody. I was trying to avoid talking to somebody in the first place, which is why I didn't do that. But then I realized I have to. So then I went to the chat box. I told them my situation, but obviously they use AI. So it was just a robot talking to me. And I was like, no, I need to talk to somebody. I need to talk to a real person. Who can I contact and how? And then finally the robot was like, okay, we're gonna connect you with an assistant. And this guy was so nice. He was like, are you able to make the 8 a.m. flight on United? If you can make that one, we'll just rebook it and we won't charge you a fee. And I was like, oh my god, that would be amazing. The guy rebooked my flight for me. I confirmed it in my app. It was kind of funny though because it asked me for a survey after he had booked my flight and I was so stupid. I chose very unsatisfied because the very satisfied was at the top and the very unsatisfied was at the bottom. To me in my brain, like the most satisfied should be on the bottom, so I chose the bottom one because I just read very and then I just saw satisfied and I was like, yep, that's the one. But then I chose the wrong one and then the robot was like, oh, why was your experience that way, whatever. And then I was like, I typed in, I clicked the wrong button. I meant to say very satisfied. And then it asked me the survey again. And I was like, okay, thank God. Because I feel so bad because that guy was actually really helpful and it was a really quick service. So first good experience with United. Well, I've never used United before, but I can't believe it. That was crazy, guys. Make sure you check your passports. So about the Sun Country flight, I did go and cancel it. And if it's within 24 hours of the flight, they'll just give you a voucher. But the cancellation fee was $99. So I only got like $60 in a voucher. I probably will use that and it's not the biggest deal in the world. Yeah, so I'm just taking the L. I'll take that $99 cancellation fee. I don't know if I'm gonna put this in the beginning of the video because it'll just be too much yapping, or I'll probably put it in the end or something, or I don't know. But anyway, I hope I went to Chicago. We'll find out. I mean, I am because I rebooked my flight, but like I hope it's a good trip still. I finally arrived, but this airport is huge and I'm confused. I'm supposed to go to Terminal 3 to go on the blue line, so let's see if I make it.
Welcome aboard Blue Line Run 203.
The first place I'm going to is Barnes & Noble's, obviously. It's also closest to the airport, so that's why I chose it. of the fountains and it feels so refreshing because it's so hot. I overestimated how cold it was gonna be. Let's see, it's 12:30, so I might go get lunch soon. Sky is so blue. I was planning to get lunch there, but then they did not have any tables, so I had to sit at the bar, and then I didn't want to ask for the menu at the bar, so I just got a drink and I looked at the views, and now I'm gonna go get boba tea, and I also have fried chicken there. I don't even eat a lot of food anyway, so I think this will be a good compromise. This is my first time riding an electric bike, and I did not realize how automatic it is. I barely have to pedal, and it's kind of scary because I feel like I'm gonna fall and die, but I'm getting the hang of it and I'm really enjoying it actually. I returned my bike, so now I'm going to the Navy Pier. I honestly do not know what to expect over here. I don't know if it's even worth it. It's already 4 and I wanted to go to Chinatown, but I don't know if I have time. Oh my god, look at the pretty trees though. I just checked and it looks like the red line is going to be delayed, so I'm going to go sit at the station and eat. I do not want to be late to the airport. I'm concerned about security already. And then I also heard that the blue and red lines aren't really reliable and they're always late, so definitely don't want to be extremely late to catch the trains. Otherwise, I'm going to miss my plane like I did this morning. Hey guys, it's probably been about 2 weeks since I went on that trip and I just kind of wanted to debrief my first solo trip ever. So I did go on this trip on a random Monday. As we all know, I had missed my morning flight because I brought the wrong passport. This is specific to Chicago. If you ever plan a trip to Chicago, this is what I would recommend. First thing is to get the day pass. If you're going for a day, I recommend that. It's only like $5, which is so worth it. I think they also offer a 3-day pass, which is $15. When I originally planned the trip, I was planning to just ride Ubers and pay for those, but then I decided this trip was just gonna be going with the flow, and once I got into the city, I was already gonna take the train to the city because I didn't want to deal with the traffic and I didn't want to pay, like I've heard they can be really expensive. No thank you, I'm not gonna pay $50 for one Uber to the city. So I took the blue line train, and there you could just buy a ticket for the full day, and I was like, well, I'm already spending $5 for a ticket for the whole day, so I might as well just try to use public transportation for the rest of the day. If you've never used public transportation or you struggle with it, I highly recommend routing through Google Maps. That's what I always do because it'll literally tell you what line to get on, where your bus stop is, which bus stop to get off. It shows you how many stops you're riding through. So if you're really anxious like me, you can literally count the stops and then you'll be like, okay, I know this next one is the one I'm supposed to get off of. I know a lot of people bring up concerns about the safety of transportation in Chicago, and I'm not saying this to disregard anybody's previous experiences, but personally when I was there I felt very safe. But again, I went on a random Monday. There's a police officer or security guard at almost every station I went to. There was only like one kind of scary experience I had, which wasn't even terrible, but this guy was just talking to himself and walking through the aisles, and then he exited through the emergency exit door to get onto another cart, and I was just eyeing him. But then I told myself, like, don't do that because you never know. That was my only one scary encounter I had on public transportation. Also, once you are downtown, I feel like it's a pretty walkable city, and that's what I did to try to limit the amount of time I would ride buses, because sometimes you're waiting there for a long time, or buses will take 30 minutes to get from one point to point B, and if I walked it would be about the same. So I was like, might as well just walk. And I really loved how Cloudgate, the park with the bean, is really close to so many good stuff. I've been telling all my friends and family once I got back that I feel like I could live in Chicago, but I'm definitely romanticizing it. I love the city, how walkable it is. There's so many things to do. Realistically, I probably wouldn't live there though, but I have been telling people that I do want to take more day trips to Chicago because there's still so much I haven't done. I definitely feel like what they say about solo travel changing your brain chemistry is true, because I just remember sitting in the airport on my way home. I was so proud of myself. I'd never done anything like that before, and before the trip I was thinking this was probably the only time I would ever solo travel because I feel comfortable with Chicago being close to where I live, and I've visited Chicago so many times with family. But now I've already thought about the next places I want to travel to. Yeah, I really felt like when I was coming home I was on a high of like just wanting to travel more, and that always happens when I travel. But solo traveling is so different because you get to make any decision you like. Usually when I travel with other people, I let them make decisions and I go with the flow, and I eat when they want to eat. I go to places they want to go to. I rarely contribute what I want to do and where I want to go. But on this trip I didn't have to depend on anybody else, and of course there's moments where I'm really iffy about decision making and I'm like, oh, I don't really know. Like the bike riding thing, I almost didn't go on that, but then I told myself I need to do that because that's something I really wanted to do. And when I did go on it, I was like, I should have done it sooner because I wanted more time to rent the bike, because I'd only rented it for an hour, but I wish I had 2 hours because that time passed by so fast. One big thing I was concerned about with solo travel was feeling bored, and I actually didn't feel bored or during the trip, but there were times where I felt a little awkward. When I was at Sydney's rooftop, I was just there sipping on my drink and I didn't know what to do with myself. There was a guy sitting right next to me who was also alone and just enjoying his drink on his phone. Even though I kind of wanted some company so I could talk to somebody, I just decided to look on my phone so that I didn't look awkward. In terms of ever doing another day trip, I think I would. I have to be really picky because of the time zone differences. Like if I wanted to go to Florida, I would end up there a little bit later, so I would have less time to do whatever I wanted. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say, but I am planning my next trip already. We are probably gonna go to Florida because we watched this Netflix show, Building the Band, and they are having a concert. I'm super excited for that. It won't be solo, but of course I'm still gonna vlog it. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you so much if you watched all the way, and I will see y'all in another one.